So today's opportunity for reflection and meditation comes from a book that is one of my favorites. It is called Kitchen Table Wisdom. It's written by Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen. I believe I've used her work before as well, but she just writes so beautifully about life, about the ways that we are challenged, the ways that people's love and compassion can show up even during hard times. And so in honor of this being Kitchen Table Wisdom, I decided to do today's reading from my dining room table. My kitchen table is a mess. All of my good intentions to keep my house clean during this time have, well, not all of them, but some of them have not really panned out the way I wanted them to. Anyway, so I'm at my dining room table, which, it's close enough to the kitchen. So Kitchen Table Wisdom, Stories That Heal, Rachel Naomi Remen. This is a section from the introduction. Everybody is a story, she writes. When I was a child, people sat around kitchen tables and told their stories. We don't do that so much anymore. Sitting around the table telling stories is not just a way of passing time. It's the way the wisdom gets passed along. The stuff that helps us to live a life worth remembering. Despite the awesome powers of technology, many of us still do not live very well. We may need to listen to each other's stories once again. Most of the stories we're told now are written by novelists and screenwriters, acted out by actors and actresses, stories that have beginnings and endings, stories that are not real. The stories we can tell each other have no beginning and ending. They are a front row seat to the real experience. Even though they may have happened in a different time or place, they have a familiar feel. In some ways, they are about us, too. Real stories take time. We stopped telling stories when we started to lose that sort of time, pausing time, reflecting time, wondering time. Life rushes us along, and few people are strong enough to stop on their own. Most often, something unforeseen stops us, and it is only then we have the time to take a seat at life's kitchen table, to know our own story and to tell it, to listen to other people's stories, to remember that the real world is made up of just such stories. Until we stop ourselves, or more often have been stopped, we hope to put certain of life's events behind us and get on with our living. After we stop, we see that certain of life's issues will be with us for as long as we live. We will pass through them again and again, each time with a new story, each time with a greater understanding, until they become indistinguishable from our blessings and our wisdom. It's the way life teaches us how to live. So I think right now we are living in a time where we have been stopped. We have been invited to the kitchen table, as it were, to listen to those stories, to tell those stories. When I was younger, when I was maybe 12 or something like that, my grandmother had been diagnosed with this horrible disease, and she knew that she was going to die, and she started to record her life's stories, her family's stories, the stories that were told around the kitchen table that she grew up at. And some of my memories about stories happening at the kitchen table or the dining room table are with my family. And so I wonder what your memories are of those stories that we tell over and over and over again. And I invite you to think about one of those stories today and how it's been told to you, how you continue to tell it, and how it might inform the way you live your life now. Be well.